Welcome to the Wednesday Team Prosperity weekly meetings. These are meetings that go right into details that you can take from this meeting, implement in your business. This is stuff that's either come up during the week or stuff that's continually coming up that we know that either you're having issues with on either side of the business. It's already, you guys, October the 6th. And you have to understand that right now is a great time to be doing business, but also with what's going on internally with the company, with what's going on from a macro environment with some of the tax law changes, we're getting ready to hit on all cylinders, which means it's an exponential opportunity. We always talk about there's sometimes to be kind of, patient. There's sometimes to be aggressive. This is a great time to be really aggressive and go at this because of the potential backside opportunity for us. We are in the back half of the 12-week year. We're getting a lot out of this, but what you guys need to understand, if you're doing this, great, then we're communicating, we're talking about this, but if you're not doing this, you can gain a lot of perspective on yourself, your business, by understanding kind of the implementation of the 12-week year, understanding the importance of the vision, understanding developing a plan, keeping score, setting up the process and the controls, being able to measure what's going on. Being able to regain control of your time, dominating the day, not having the day dominate you, and then stay accountable and committed, and then taking some time off. We also learn whether it's a great week or a terrible week. We go into the next week either on the momentum of a great week or on the reset of a terrible week, but we don't carry that over and let that go into the next week. And remember, guys, as you're building, this is so important. We all come in and we're excited about the opportunity as we learn more about the day-to-day operations, what it's going to take. You don't go from 0 to 1 million overnight. So there's a valley of despair. And as a builder, recruiter, coach, mentor, you have to understand that when we get down here, or our partners get down here, there's one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to give up and reset and continuously be locked in this cycle, or with your help, hopefully they're going to fight through this and find the success and the expectations they were looking for. If you understand the psychological nature of how to get this business built, how to get agencies built, what a partner goes through, it's a lot easier to preemptively help them prepare for some of the ups and downs until they get to a point where they're good to go. You have to develop a factory pattern to what we're doing. Can't have an online business, a virtual business, and a state of chaos. So you have to have raw material coming in. You have to have lead volume. That creates different stages of productions for potential partners or clients. That's going to create some end products. You have enough raw material coming through, the end products will take care of itself. On top of your factory pattern, you also have to have grit, guys. You have to understand that to see this through, you have to have that effort compounded over X period of time. Give up too soon, which most people do, you'll never see the backside results. We are trying to build agencies that squeeze out average performers to either put them in low performers or high performers. We're trying to get as much high performance as possible. The reason that a lot of agencies fail is mediocrity. I mean, you've got so many agents stuck in the middle, average performers. Average performers never really get excited about what's going on. So we want to create high performance. Which do we want to be? We want to be high performing. So when we look at last week, what did we talk about? We talked about preparing for the exponential growth that's getting ready to happen. We talked about the gap between strategy and execution and how that's really costing you money. Mastering the art of starting a conversation, which we try to make as easy as possible for you guys. The importance of alignment and engagement in the process. Following up to the next direct action step, making sure you have a target or objective in mind, and building results from disciplined activity over a period of time, having the grit to see this through. This week, we're going to continue on conversations that help you guys in terms of building your business, but also realize that going into the national convention next week, there won't be a Wednesday team meeting. The next meeting will be post-convention, and we're really going to move this into a high gear. When you are talking to potential agents, when you're building agencies, when you're training, supporting, coaching, mentoring people, the 4 levels of understanding is very important. Number 1, an agent has to understand what you did. Number 2, agent has to be able to repeat what you did in a similar situation. Third, they have to be able to explain it so that others can understand in a clear, concise, articulate way. And then number four, they have to be able to apply it to different situations. Number four is the one that comes from experience. The other three, you can start to train and support and coach and mentor on those immediately, because having everybody rely on you, it may stroke your ego, but it never creates independence. It's never going to create the distribution patterns that you're looking for that give you the override passive income that you're trying to build from your efforts now. So understand the 4 levels of understanding, how to implement that into agency growth. And you guys, as well as your partners and really your clients too, income is a reflection of learning and doing new things. So we're constantly processing information, taking that information, putting it into practical application and learning from that test. Yes, we're going to have strategies and tactics, but we have to move out of there. Planning and preparing, if we get stuck here continuously, we've talked about this, just a veiled way to procrastinate, kick the can down the road. The strategy and the tactics lead into the activity. That activity, you guys know, nothing's going to happen in this business. And as you're having the activity, you have to understand, once again, going back to some of the psychological natures of, the people that we talk to, as well as what we do in marketing, being preemptive means the best defense is really a good offense. And what that means, I was talking to a new agent about this the other day, is I think a lot of us get into the habit, we want to qualify as many people as possible for what you do. But what you really want to do is disqualify, because by disqualifying, you're setting up, you're framing conversation, you're setting the rules of engagement, and you're actually qualifying those people by disqualification. So once again, don't throw as many people into one bucket as possible. Start explaining who you work with, who you don't work with, why. Disqualify on the front side, because what that enables you to do is, just like on the agency growth side, we want as much high performance as possible. Inside what we do for the clients, we also want to squeeze out that middle, the middle being no decision. So if you're having a lot of educational meetings that turn into absolutely no decision, that turns into no communication, that just turns into you dumping the lead because you never talk to them again, you want to squeeze that out, and you want to get as many decisions as possible, meaning yes, no. The more you can squeeze out from the middle and make them decide, the easier it's going to be for you to build branch office, for your partners to build branch office, and for you to build that distribution that you're looking for. The end result, as we're talking to everybody, is different. The end result for me versus the end result for you versus the end result for client A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever it might be, is all different. What we provide is a roadmap to get there, a defined roadmap with step-by-step instructions, but that end result is going to be different from everybody. And you have to get to know your potential client to discover some of this stuff. If you're skipping that process and you're just presenting a roadmap, you're really not sure at the end of that roadmap where that person wants to get to, you're in trouble on the back end sales because you haven't found that why motivating factor. We don't want to leave our future up to chance, whether we're dealing with ourselves internally, fixing some of the things that are going on with us, or whether we're dealing with potential clients or potential partners. If we leave our future up to chance, it's not going to be the defined future that we want, envision, or hope for. So what we have to do is we have to take control. And making it real is something that we, as an educator, as a coach, trainer, whatever you want to call yourself, in whatever situation that may be, you got to make it real, because a lot of times people have had ideas in the past, they may have implemented some stuff, but most people fail at what they're trying to accomplish. So we need to understand, sometimes almost like as a therapist, what stopped you in the past, and then on the other side, how will hitting these goals that we've defined and we've laid out, how will that change your life? And then what are you willing to do? So once again, it's that simple process. Hey, where are you now? Where do you want to be? What does that look like getting there? And what are you willing to do to make it happen? This works on a partner conversation. This works on a client conversation. This works on an internal conversation with yourself when you're trying to get back into a good rhythm. Also, we have to walk the fine line. We can't be rude to potential partners or clients, but you also have to make sure they understand if what they've done up to a certain point in their life is not working, you have to stop doing that, because the brain's going to want to continue to do whatever, good, bad, or ugly. Brain's just going to continue with habits. So we have to stop doing what doesn't work. And you have to make sure the other side understands, hey, this isn't working. Would you agree? Okay, once we agree that's not working, then we have to make the action step to actually stop doing this and take a new route or course. We're not trying to teach our partners and our clients to survive through this period of time. We're trying to teach them to thrive. So yes, there's a bunch of changes going on over the last couple of years in a bunch of different areas. So what we look at changes is as an opportunity for our clients and partners. And like I said, not to just get by, but to actually thrive in the environment. We usually talk about this wellness pie in terms of the financial slice as being a deficiency. So when somebody doesn't have financial wellness, what does it do to the rest of this wellness pie? But on the other hand, if we look at it from the other point of view, if we have abundance here, and if we're firing on all cylinders in this wellness piece of the pie, what does that do to the rest of the wellness pie? It has a positive ripple effect. So remember, there's always two ways to look at something. And financial wellness and money, whether somebody wants to admit it or not, is going to be a big part of our life. With that in mind, we might as well get a grip and understand how money works. We are a technology company that offers data-driven education as well as technology on the backside to offer solutions to big problems that Americans are facing. And once you understand this, it's a lot easier to go out and talk to people, because you have information that's valuable and you have processes on the back end, if it makes sense, to really change the financial landscape of somebody's finances, both now and in the future. And through that activity, through those conversations, you are actually building a sales pipeline. And the easiest way that we have found to build a sales pipeline is to A, lead with value, and then B, further educate into some buying decisions. You're going to pick your approach, guys. And I'm not saying that one approach is the best for all of us, but what I'm saying is whatever you want to test, make sure that you're understanding, hey, this is working or it's not working. And then based on your personality, based on what you know, based on how you want to talk to people, who you want to talk to, you're going to pick a best approach. I think a good approach in the warm market is being very mission-based, making sure that warm market understands what you're doing. More importantly, though, why? Why have you decided to do this? And then there's some things they can do for you. They can hop on some presentations and help you get through those as practice. There's nothing to buy in those education meetings. You're not trying to trick them into something where you're trying to sell them something at the end. So that's one way. Can they help you get better at your presentations, just to sit through there? And trust me, guys, if this education material is presented even to a warm market for practice, it's valuable information. It's going to pique some interest. And then also, as you're talking about the mission, you can talk about referrals. Once people understand really, like I said, on a general idea what you're doing, but then why you're actually doing it, why you're passionate about this and how they can help you, if they understand, they'll open up and give you the referrals. And then from that point, the warm market, and just once again, going back to the warm market real quick, guys, if you have a new agent that says, I don't want to approach my warm market, we don't make them, but you have to understand what they're really telling you is, hey, I don't understand what we're doing well enough to realize my warm market needs this information. So we don't have any, mandatory warm market approaches, but it's very valuable information that the warm market should at least have access to. And then once you leave that, whether it's social media, common market, cold market, you're attracting people with lead magnets that's getting them into a marketing funnel. That's very, very easy conversation, not selling, not recruiting, not pitching, but hey, I've got something for you that can help you do X, Y, or Z. Through that process, it gets the attention that you need, creates the lead that will be based on, whether or not they have interest, desire, and action. The funnel through the automation will help you. If it's not fully helping you through that, then the manual operation that you can do helps out as well. Remember, that lead magnet is very, very important, because that's what you're leading with. That's what you're opening the conversation with. And that's really what you have to master. You got to become really great with the appropriate language of identifying somebody as you are X, and then vice versa, here is why to help you. So On a homeowner, early mortgage payoff strategies, here, read about it, convert debt to wealth. Whether we're talking about the partner side, real estate, insurance, whatever it might be, you are a real estate agent, you are an insurance agent. Here's a guide to help you sell more houses, sell more insurance, make more money, whatever it is. So you're leading with value. That creates the leads. And then we have a bunch of stuff on the back end that will kind of get them inundated with more and more about what we do, how we can possibly help them. There's a difference between traffic and conversion. So you guys need to understand you are driving as much traffic to these opt-in pages as possible. And then the first conversion that we look at is actually the opt-in. So the traffic you're sending to the page is the first part. And the second part is out of that traffic, how much is going to opt into that first conversion, which is the lead magnet. Your job is just to fill up the lanes of traffic going to that opt-in page with as many people as possible. And once they opt into the URL, that's the gateway to everything else that we're trying to do in terms of education, in terms of book meetings, in terms of clients, partners, revenue, income growth, etc. Once inside, like I said, we've got a ton of automation, we've got campaigns, we've got virtual assistants. If that's working, great. For if it gets tied up or it gets stuck in the pipeline, we can come in there and we can manually push it through the pipeline. So the combination of the automated communication with the personal communication is going to move things through the blocks of the pipeline to do one thing: resolve leads, whether that's, hey, I'm opting out, I've got the information I need, I don't want it anymore, or booked education meetings. That's really what we're looking for. And if you can create and resolve leads, everything else will take care of itself. You guys have to understand what you give away. If you never read what you give away, that's a problem, because some of the upfront conversation is getting some feedback on that ebook, guide, whatever it is that you give away. So if you've got a funnel in place, understand the giveaway, look through it, and get some talking points about it, because that's really how we can open, continue, and direct conversations to what we want to happen, which is the next action step. The little things, the details of your business, guys, the small details, it makes a big difference in terms of the jumps in income and revenue for you, the jumps in agency growth for you. We can leave a lot of things on the table, they fall through the cracks or just fall off the table. That's really the small details of your business. Small details include a vision. And you guys have to have a crystal clear vision for yourself, because you have to teach other people, whether it's partners or clients, how to have that same type of crystal clear vision, because we've seen this time and time and time again on both sides of the business. Without that vision, there's no motivating point. There's no action that really gets behind that, because the vision is not propelling the action. Once we have a clear vision, a vision that we actually excites us, that brings two things: intention and action to the game, whether that's your partners or whether that's your clients. The clear vision, motivating points create intention and action. And that really, like I said, comes from the why. So once we have that vision in place, and once we understand from a partner or client perspective, what's driving them, what is the why point, what is the reason they would ever do something, and then along the way, we've got targets of objectives. Just like, if we've got an end point, it's not from A to Z. Along the way, there's other things. There's stepping stones, targets, objectives that we have to hit to make sure we're on the right course and we're making good time. If you don't know your numbers, guys, you don't know your business. You can't build massive agency growth. You can't build distribution of products and services without knowing your business from a numbers perspective. We can't build stuff on emotion. It'll fall through. So you have to build a branch office on knowing your numbers. And you have to teach other people through that branch office before they come independent of you how to do the same. We've got an incredible opportunity here. So if you kind of see what we see, you believe in something, bet big at this point. Like I said, there's times to be patient. There's times to be aggressive. This is a mark in time that you have to be very aggressive. Bet your professional life right now, and work with the people on the client and the partner side that deserve your time, not just need your time. That's very important. Your time's an investment. It's got to get a return, and you've got to go out there and execute. So like we talked about, having the vision, having these tactics, the strategies, having the activity, execution is where it all comes together. The execution comes through, being able to manufacture and juggle some personal sales, being able to build an agency, and the process of both of those things kind of happening at one time is going to do a lot for your business in a lot of different areas, and you'll see multiple areas of growth. And that's when the business really starts to get exciting for you. You have to get obsessed with helping people. If you've got, information that will help people, technology that will help people in an area of their life that a lot of people are struggling, if you get obsessed with helping people, your business will take off. And then you need to follow a schedule. A lot of times, going back to the small details, a lot of us are just kind of indirectly following up. Whatever happens today. I found this over here. I don't think I've talked to this guy in 3 weeks. Let me call him. You've got to have a dialed in communication strategy. You have to have social media. You have to have a main site that you're pushing people to. You have to have your overall online strategy. And like I said, in following up, emails, text, social media messages, phone calls, you have to make sure that you're using different methods of communication, because different people have different preferred methods of communication. You need to reach them in that method and let them respond back in that method as well. On the partner side, if somebody is not looking to build an online business, you're talking to the wrong person. It doesn't care whether they're in the industry or not in the industry. We're looking for entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial-minded people who are looking to build an online business, a legit online business in a huge industry with a lot of opportunity. And that online business has been proven to be a plug and play, predictable, profitable model that's getting ready to go on steroids. When the partners come in, this is something that you guys have to learn. And when you're building, you have to build deep and wide, because the way that you lock your partners in is with ownership. So if you've got 3 people coming in, and then this partner right here, we're able to build below, you lock this person in with ownership, because now they've got something to lose. That's very important. When you're building a business, you want to lock as many talented people in with ownership as possible. That keeps them. Overall, you're looking for a certain type of person that can become a dedicated distribution partner for you. This is a very lucrative opportunity, but it takes some of the things that we've been talking about. It takes vision, it takes activity, it takes execution. So we're not looking for everybody. We're looking for a certain type of person. And when that person's found, put into this, they can be worth a lot to you in terms of long-term revenue. You guys are going to get a competitive edge by doing something every day your competition don't or won't. I know that's easy to understand reading through it, a lot harder to execute on the back end. If you get done more than your competition does over long periods of time, it doesn't matter in short stretches how much they do. There's never the ability to catch up with you, because you've been able to do it over a period of time. Get ready for what's about to happen. We actually have a deficiency in a lot of areas of the business when you look at the lead generation that's getting ready to come on both sides of the business. So like I said, for you guys, understand the opportunity, but for the people that you're talking to, understand what you're looking for, why, and be able to express the opportunity so you can get more than interest. You're not looking for interested parties, you're looking for committed parties.